You didn't name the people. Oh, right. The other parts of the cards. Psh, those aren't mystery parts. That's note-keeping, bookkeeping. There's still so many slices on this. I think in that particular genre, the best one is still Duck Detective for me. Duck Detective did a good job. Although, the other demo I liked that was a similar vein of that one was Urban Myth Dissolution Center. That was a good one. And then for a full game, of course, the Dark Side Detective was really good. Little problems or puzzles that protagonists already clearly knows the answer to, instead of actual mysteries. That's, I think, the cozy part. I almost feel like the cozy part is like a barrier for me. Like, that kind of gameplay is a little bit more fun when... I feel like Duck Detective was cozy, but it brought a fun, like, joking noir element to it that made it a little bit more engaging. Like, to go back to what you said, like, it's not really... It's not so much a mystery, because they're all aware of the situation, so it's more context clues for the reader. I find it a little bit more engaging if it's, like, they're trying to figure something out as well. But that's just like, artifice. It's not real. You see a picture and you have to deduce what happened. It's a case of the golden idol. Like, exactly, yeah. Card Scrawl. What's Card Scrawl? I don't know. Ba-ba. I gotta type words in because I can't find it. Card Scrawl. Oh, it's one word. Ah, no wonder I couldn't figure it out. Ba-da-ba. Oh! Jesus. Gonna be a deck builder tower defense game, I hope. I love that genre. Card Scrawl. Welcome, Spleen Machine. How to know my name? Board view, advanced. Advancer voice, Tower Lord. Brute, Spectre, Nocturne. They have multiple announcer voices? Let's go with Tower Lord to start. Controller thumbstick speed? Wow, I have no idea what's going on right now. Lower the volume over here a little bit. Card Scrawl features a tutorial that is highly recommended, if not mandatory, for new players. Estimated time, 10 minutes. Alright. Oh, God! I'm frightened. Welcome to Card Scrawl! This tutorial will guide you through a match, covering all game phases and mechanics. Press the next button to the bottom right of this box to proceed through the tutorial prompts. In Card Scrawl, you command both a creature deck and an enchantment deck, each with separate hands played during different game phases. Each deck contains 24 cards, and at the end of every turn, you will always redraw back to 5 cards in each hand. The goal of a match is to strategically use your resources to deploy creatures, defend lanes, and deal direct damage to your opponent to secure victory. My eye keeps just finding new buttons and details as it wanders the screen. This is overwhelming, yes. Please be aware that at any point during the tutorial, you are encouraged to hover over various interface elements on the game board to explore and familiarize yourself with their functions. Again, I love weird nonsense, and this, like, is overwhelming, but also intriguing, because what the hell is any of this? A match is split into 5 different game phases. This seems like a very complicated experience. Roll, summon, action, discard creatures, and discard enchantments. Creatures are summoned at the ends of the game board and automatically move toward the opposing end. If they reach the end unimpeded, they will deal direct damage to the opposing player. The roll phase is straightforward. I hope so. During this phase, both players roll for mana. This mana is used to summon creatures onto the game board. The flashing action button, actually it looks like act:"on, at the bottom of the game board, labeled end phase, is used to roll for mana during the roll phase. It can also be used to manually end any of the other 4 phases. Battle chess, thank you. I'm like, there's a genre that uses some of these mechanics that I am not educated in the ways of battle chess. I know my brother played a lot of battle chess because he liked the modding scene for Dota and Warcraft, but I've never really played any battle chess. If you cannot make any more moves, the phase you're in will automatically skip to the next phase. Let's try rolling for mana now. What I need you to do, game, is treat me like I'm an idiot and just like... It's like when you're playing a board game for the first time. It's helpful to have someone basically just like, alright, here's how a turn works, and just do the turn. Just like info dumping without showing things is bad for visual learners. I'm a visual learner. Like, I don't need text, I need just like, here's the whole thing, start to finish. Alright, we're gonna roll for mana, but I don't remember how to roll for mana.
Summon.
Okay. After rolling for mana, proceed to the summon phase. Notice the blue and red numbers under the mana section on the left. The blue number represents your available mana, while the red number indicates your opponent's mana. My opponent has 3 mana. Yeah, that noise was rough. So I have 4 mana? Do I know how much mana it costs to summon anybody? Alright, yeah, next. Looks like both you and your opponent rolled 3 mana this turn. No? I rolled 4 mana. Unless I am really misunderstanding what they're talking to me about. I'm pretty sure I rolled 4. We were trying to summon Nara for the previous game, the Cozy Detective game. I think Nara would have liked that one. This is not a Nara game right here. Now that we have our mana, let's talk about our other resource, summoning shards. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, Nara, you should check out the game we just played, which was an adorable, like, who spilled the lemonade? Bon Mi? Excellent choice. I love Bon Mi. Each player gets 6 summoning shards per turn. 3 are provided during the summoning phase. Another 3 are available during the action phase. Only 3 shards can be used per phase, and they're replenished at the start of each new turn. This means you can summon a maximum of 3 creatures per turn under normal circumstances. Let's summon the ants you have in your hand onto the leftmost summoning area. For those of you that have watched the television show Parks and Recreation, there is a episode where a character describes a board game called The Cones of Dunshire. And it's a long and complicated board game explanation. And I am feeling that right now. Wait, how does it mean that? I don't know! Alright, I want to summon an ant. This is all fairly straightforward. It's just like a lot to take in at the same time. Except like, I will argue that it's not straightforward just for the simple fact that we have 2 mana sources, one for me, one for my opponent. I don't think I need to know my opponent's mana source in the same breath as my mana. Summoning shards being separate from mana, having multiple summoning phases. Like, it just seems like there's a lot going on that could be condensed down, but my problem was the info dump at the start. I feel like what you want to do is just like, let's go from start to finish for a round, but the info dump first, and then they start doing the explanation. And it's just like, I don't remember what we talked about. This is why QA is important. Your opponent will summon an ant to defend against yours in the same lane. Notice the border of the game board slot changes to blue if your creature occupies it, or red for the opponent's. You might be wondering why your mana wasn't used after summoning your ant. This is because the ant is one of many creatures that has a 0 mana cost. Let's take this opportunity to go over the numbers on the creature card. The bottom right number in blue is the mana cost of a creature. The bottom left number in yellow is a creature's power. The top left number in white is a creature's power points. Power points are a creature's power minus the mana cost. To simplify it further, the higher a creature's mana points, the more you get out of your mana for summoning that creature. Higher PP creatures also can have higher power totals. Please remember that even if a creature costs 0 mana, it will still consume a summoning shard under normal circumstances. Yeah, if you need to explain this much, it's a sign that your UI design needs work. 100% correct. Like, we started today's stream, it has been coming up a lot recently, but we were talking about readability and how important it is to let a player immediately absorb information. And this is an example of, like, I like having as much information as possible quickly absorbable, but if you present all the information at once, just scattershot across the screen, that's too much information, and at that point, it's doing more harm than good. Like, if the game has a series of phases that are going to happen, then the entire screen doesn't need to have all that garbage on there. It could be phase determinate. We could only show the parts that are relevant for any given phase, because guess what? It's a video game! This is being presented to me like someone set up a table. And like, here's the board, here are the cards, here are the other cards, here are the dice. Like a board game, you have no choice but present everything to the player at the same time. It's a board game. There's physical limitations. But like, all of this can be hidden from me until it's relevant. Like, the phases can change what information's apparent and present to the player. Yeah, like, we're talking about it, like, we still haven't gotten to the 97 different symbols over here, all this garbage down here, like, my god. Like, limit things to the phases. That way, it's like, here's what's relevant right now. Please remember that even if a creature costs 0 mana, it still consumes a summoning shard under normal circumstances. In a normal match, you would be able to summon more creatures as you still have 3 mana. To speed things along for the tutorial, we'll skip to the action phase. At least it's not an acid fest. Like, I am not poo-pooing this game on the principle of the game. I'm poo-pooing its UI design because if you are presenting a demo to people, you basically want to be like, here's the game, are you interested? And something like this, like 90% of people will get to the first screen of this and just be like, nope, and just leave. They'll just leave. Look back at my days when Data East made these games on the SNES and you didn't have a tutorial. You had a manual that wasn't translated, right? But like, the game might be a lot of fun. Like, I'm still interested. I'm gonna keep going because weird shit like this is automatically intriguing to me and I want to understand what's going on. But like, I'm gonna criticize what I see as we go because in some alternate dimension, it's possible the developer will like see what I'm saying and be like, oh, these are interesting points. Or like, I might even just give feedback if they're looking for feedback. When we look at it and go, what? You know you have a problem. Like, I'm very tolerant for this kind of stuff and like, woof, like we should trim things down, guys. I still have questions about like, I spent mana to summon an ant. Well, I didn't spend mana to summon an ant. But we used a summoning shard? Like, are we limited to 3 summons no matter what? Is mana the determining factor? Are they always linked? Why have both? Why have both? Alright, let's skip to the action phase. During the action phase, you'll be able to equip your creatures with powerful enchantment cards using your enchantment deck. Additionally, most hero abilities can be cast during this phase. Some hero abilities, however, are cast during the summon phase. It's time to enchant. There's a lot of exceptions to the rules we're establishing in this tutorial. It's time to enchant the ant you just summoned. Select the power enchantment sword icon and cast it on your ant. Your creature in enchantment hands automatically switch as needed throughout the match, depending on the phase. I know, I'm exhausted. It's so you can say pee-pee and giggle, yes. It doesn't need to be explicit.
Action.
Alright, we want to enchant. I have enchanted. The power enchantment is a permanent buff to the equipped creature. Your ant has gone from having 1 power to 7. Creatures may only have 1 enchantment on them at a time, so choose wisely. Power is one of the most basic enchantments in Card Scrawl, meaning that it does not have cooldowns or directional patterns. It simply increases your creature's maximum power permanently unless dispelled by certain hero abilities. A summoning shard was used to cast power on your ant. At the action phase start, you get 3 shards, enough to enchant 3 creatures. But... what? A summoning shard was used to cast power. Didn't I use a summoning... oh, I get my shards back after the summoning phase? Okay, right. Phase start, you get 3 shards, enough to enchant 3 creatures. That's right, the phases are distinct. Enchantment costs shards, not mana. More complex enchantments, they can get more complex, have cooldowns and directional patterns. Once again, enchantments are permanent unless dispelled. This is called Card Scrawl. Card Scrawl, one word. The green 6 on your ant shows the lane power advantage for that lane. Green indicates your power, led by that amount, while red indicates your opponent's advantage. Your opponent will now equip their ant with the same power enchantment you've cast on your ant. Take notice of the lane power advantage number after this happens so you can see the number revert back to 0, showing neutral lane balance. I'm dying. Once the action phase ends, a combat round will be simulated. During a combat round, your creatures will move, attack, and cast enchantments. Alright, so... I can't remember the name of the game. It's a demo we played. It was basically like a... it had a retro aesthetic similar to this one's. But it was more presented as like a pastiche of us using like a retro computer to do stuff. There were anomalies, we had to investigate anomalies. And it had a similar lane thing, like we would summon digital creatures and enchant them and they would attack each other. And I don't remember the title of it, but that one would only present information to the player as the phases were happening. So like, if we were on one screen, we had a different interface. And like every phase had its own screen, and it was much more understandable because that's how it presented the information. And it also made it more interesting to look at because every scene was distinct. What mess am I? This is called a Card Scrawl, and holy shit! Like this tutorial just keeps on like, all right, this is the rule and this is the rule, but also there's exceptions to these rules, and like it just keeps going. Once the action phase ends, a combat round will be simulated. During a combat round, your creature will move, attack, and cost enchantments. Remember that game phases are automatically skipped whenever it is determined that you cannot make any more moves. You know, back before anyone even thought PC games were a viable thing. What did Traxxum say? It was like a Data East game from a million years back? During a combat round, the following will occur. Creatures equipped with spell-type enchantments will cast, if possible, as well as move and attack. Take a look at the icons on the left-hand side of the game interface. This is the combat round order. Oh, shit! It is read from top, first to happen, to bottom, last to happen. The C icon shows when creature moves or attack, happening late in the combat round. I wish I would have skipped the tutorial because this would have been fucking hilarious. I would have been screaming at my computer right now. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Mana, 3. And 3 in red, I guess. This is my mana. This is the opponent's mana. You use mana to do stuff. These are summoning shards. You use those to do stuff. Why do we have both? I don't know. Alright. Happening late in the combat round, heal, green heart, and damage lightning bolt enchantments occur afterward, while most spells occur before. You've been screaming at, but could you imagine if I were trying to make this game move forward without a tutorial happening? Like, I'm yelling at the tutorial because it's insane. This was made by a man locked in a dark room for 6 years. It's a passion project, I'm sure. But, like, you need other people to look at your game while you're making it. You really do. You need someone else to walk in and be like, Jeff, what the fuck are you doing here, dude? Jeff, stop. Yeah, shards are action. Mana is money. Not all actions cost money. But, like, we could have one thing. We could definitely have one thing. It's totally possible to have one thing here. Simplification's not a bad thing. To be a competitive player, you will have to consider how the combat round will play out. As it stands, this combat round will simulate quickly, as there are only 2 creatures on the board, no spell type enchantments. Let's see how it looks. The combat round is over, and now we'll proceed to the discard creatures phase. You may discard any number of creatures from your current creature hand. Also, Jeff stops exactly what happened to Ben when he made Cones of Dunshire, yes. It's like, stop. For the tutorial, let's discard your Deep Dragon and Golden Naga cards. Select both of them and press the action button to continue.
Discard creatures. Discard enchantments.
The creature cards that were just discarded are gone for the remainder of the match. There is nothing more that can be done with them. Enchantment discarding works exactly like creature discarding. Select any number of enchantments you would like to discard. I'm watching everything move around. I'm just like, I don't get it. Discard enchantments. I don't want to discard any enchantments. Discard wisely, as each deck contains only 24 cards, 48 total. You can track remaining cards under the enemy/player deck section on the right. The red deck represents creatures, and the blue deck represents enchantments. Do not be afraid of losing if you run out of cards. A match is never over until all actions have happened, therefore it is quite possible to still win or lose a match after all cards are exhausted. As your skill level progresses, you will develop strategies and understand the importance of discarding cards can have in a match. At this point, you should have a good understanding of how the card Scrawl game board operates. No. I challenge you with no. The board now will be reset, so additional mechanics and rules can be shown. Fucking hit me. Do it. For the next part of the tutorial, you'll be skipping around quickly, ignoring many faces and steps. That's totally how you're gonna help me learn. You got it. Skipping around and doing things in a weird order is definitely how you're going to teach me. We will now talk about the creature advance mechanic. 2 creatures have been placed on the board. A Deep Dragon for you and a Golden Naga for your opponent. These creatures are in melee range, which means during the upcoming combat round, they will engage in melee combat. Deep Dragon is a creature with 15 power and Golden Naga is a creature with 12 power. Taking into account only creature power, your Deep Dragon will be able to kill the Golden Naga. A combat round will be simulated to see what happens. Notice how your Deep Dragon moved an additional game board slot after killing the Golden Naga. That was due to the Creature Advance mechanic. Creature Advance always occurs whenever a creature defeats another in melee combat. However, certain enchantments and hero abilities can affect creature movement, making it possible for a creature to attack without moving at all. It is crucial to note that creatures can use the Creature Advance mechanic to attack player health points directly. Keep this in mind when placing creatures near the end of the game board for defense. Are you actually gonna try? I'm gonna try! This tutorial is doing more harm than good, if I'm being honest. Creatures that die to non-melee combat, such as spells or hero abilities, will not trigger Creature Advance. Pay close attention when planning your turn. Now, we will show a similar scenario with your creature using the Creature Advance mechanic to attack your opponent's health points directly. I put my Dark Wizard in the attack position to attack your health points directly, Yugi. Once again, a Deep Dragon has been placed for you and a Golden Naga for your opponent. This time, the difference lies in the creature's positions. Let's initiate a combat round and observe how it unfolds on the game board. Notice how your Deep Dragon defeated your opponent, Golden Naga, and health points. During the combat round, both creatures engaged in melee combat. With your Deep Dragon's 15 power, I get your opponent's Golden Naga's 12. It is! I'm being worn down, man. This is the hardest thing I've ever done. I haven't gotten to play the game yet. Your Deep Dragon was able to trigger creature's advanced user remaining 3 power to direct health. Creature's power is the same as health. It means that the more damage creature takes, less damage it does. Will it require special summons? We'll now demonstrate the various enchantment target types. There are 5 target types: vertical, horizontal, random board, and chain. So please, let's start with demonstrating how a vertical enchantment works. I think I know what vertical means, I'm pretty sure. Your hand's been placed in your opponent's same lane. During the combat round, your opponent's hand will be targeted by your hand's damage enchantment. As it is the enchantment's target region, proceed to the view interaction. I did it. I targeted him with a vertical spell from far away. Casting First Strike. Classic.
Now
Classic
enter
ascent.
my realm.
Select your champion. Cat Kisser. Grants allies swift strikes. That tutorial didn't even cover the idea, the mere concept of like a character champion type. We didn't even get to that part. Cool. Feline Alacrity. Your creatures get a second movement / attack phase when activated. Chaotic good. Like, I'm gonna rewind a second. That tutorial is an affront to God. It is. It is an affront to God. However, I could feel the passion for this game wafting off of it and onto me from the creator. Like, someone put a lot of thought and care into a lot of mechanics and concepts, and even the aesthetic is pretty damn sweet. But by God, that tutorial is a nightmare, and I really do think mechanically this is a game that someone needs to walk in that room and just be like, all right, buddy, can we maybe merge like summoning shards and mana? Can we make that one thing? And maybe like every phase has its own interface. That way there's not like a whole bunch of overload on the viewer. Like it's just all these numbers and letters and symbols and colors. But we'll just every phase could have its own screen. And that'll make it so much more pleasant. Like, the core concept is essentially there is a board, you're putting creatures down, the creatures will advance automatically, and you enchant them to improve the odds that you have a winning board. Like, that could be very simple. It's so simple, in fact, that, like, you mentioned Hearthstone, sure. I would say, like, Throne of Bone is a game where you just put your cards down and they attack. Like, you can take all of this and funnel it down into a much easier to look at presentation. And that's really helpful. Anyway, Cat Kaiser. A masked feline vigilante, Cat Kaiser is a blur of movement, his speed surpassing the comprehension of mortal eyes. With claws as sharp as his wit, he takes justice into his own hands, bringing down criminals with feline grace. His swift strikes are as precise as they are devastating, and no shadow is safe from his piercing gaze. Operating the dead of night, he's more myth than man, his legend growing with each foe he topples. His rival, Ratberg. Ratberg's criminal empire is constantly undermined by Cat Kaiser's vigilance, making the street thug desperate to reclaim his territory. Like, this is neat. I like this. I like the world building, like the weird character stuff. Cool. There's a lot about this game that, like, I'm instantly on the developer's side because I like weird shit. But that tutorial, that did it physical damage, I think. Psychic damage for sure.
Game start. Roll. Summon.
Alright, I got a gnome mummy. Preserved through ancient rituals, gnome mummies guard their tombs with powerful curses and magic, wrapped in decaying bandages and filled with dark energy. Phase spider, large intelligent arachnids capable of shifting between the material plane and the ethereal plane. Phase spiders ambush prey with their venomous bites. You roll for mana? Yes, we do. Did you forget the first phase of the game in the tutorial? Horrifying fiends with twisted forms. Rudderkin are the foot soldiers of the abyss, spreading fear and madness wherever they go. Rats have huge balls and like guns. Stone guardians that came to life. Gargoyles are fierce protectors of ancient places, attacking intruders with their sharp claws and fangs. I don't know how to fix this game. He's gonna say throw it in the garbage. Or on the floor. Here it comes. Tilt the camera up a little to see the other player's titties. Ah, I didn't predict that one. That was the dice rolling game's fix, though. You like stuff like gnome mummies? I'm all on board with gnome mummies. A phase spider costs mana. We want mana-free stuff, so a gnome? Put the gnome down. He summoned a bat in the attack position. Alright, we still have all of our mana. I know the game explained it, but I'm still struggling with the power points versus power. Health is power, and power is power, and power points were something else that I don't remember. It's the difference between mana and power, right? But why is that important? I don't remember why it's important that there's a subtraction from power and mana to give us a power point. Does it mean anything? It's just efficiency rating. Throw it in the garbage. It doesn't need to be on the screen. Get rid of it. It doesn't functionally provide any benefit or detriment to me. It's just a number. Yeah, just ignore it. It shouldn't be here. It's the fuel economy of the card. Sort of. But it doesn't seem that relevant. I'm gonna put a huge man on the board.
Action.
Alright, now we get to enchant things. I have no mana left, but that's okay because spells don't use mana. I got thoughts on that as well. Target board slot will be occupied by a stone spike. Enemy and friendly creatures cannot pass stone spikes. So let's go ahead and just block his best dude. Wait, I have to enchant my dude? I thought it's to target a board slot. It's only letting me target my dudes. I don't want to target him with that. Spells use mana? No! They use shards. The enchanted creature's power is multiplied by enchantment strength value. Enchanted creature dies after 3 turns. 1, 2... Oh, instead of man A, it's using man... I serious. I got it. Sorry, I thought you just typoed. 1, 2... Alright, we don't want to use anything that's going to kill him after 3 turns. Unable to move as long as the enchantment resists. Well, I don't want to put any enchantments on then. These are all bad for me. If I could figure out how to target one of these tiles, that'd be great. Cooldown 1, target is horizontal. Enemy and friendly creatures cannot pass stone spikes. Can I select a board tile first? No. I had to target my own dude. Alright, end phase.
Discard creatures.
I will discard rat.
Discard enchantments. Roll. Summon.
Summon! I guess when my guy dies, he will leave spikes behind. Not how it was read, so I'm a little confused still. Alright, we're looking for any mana zeros? None. Gargoyle, Rudderkin. Berserk can be a kill spell in empty lanes? Maybe? I can do a 1 and a 3 cost, or I can just go straight to a 4 cost. I'll do a 1 and a 3. Get a Rudderkin out here. And then Plain Centaur over here.
Action.
No one's trying to stop my phase spider. Equipped creature increases friendly board creature's power by enchantment strength value. The enchanted creature does not receive a bonus. Target creature power is restored. One turn, 2 turn. I'll use that enchantment later. You've had your eye on this one. Kragon, the tutorial was abysmal. The tutorial is just an info dump of biblical proportions. I am angry at the tutorial still. As for the actual game, I am not opposed to it. That is a virus. Alright, all these enchantments are better for later, so I'm not going to use any of my enchantments. He had a horizontal enchantment on him. Let's discard... just this rat. Sorry, gargoyle.
Discard enchantments.
You think those are our stones? They could be our stones. I'm pretty sure they're our stones. I don't know why they went up there. So, my guys can't go now. I'm gonna discard one of you.
Roll. Summon.
I've gotten 4 mana every single round. An ant. Plump an ant here because he can move there. And then I'll send my werewolf after my phase spider.
Action.
Equipped creature has power increased by enchantment strength value 6. Why am I not allowed? Target random. Target vertical. can't put it on. Oh, he's already stone enchanted. You're right. No, mana? Mana's only for summoning creatures. Which is very silly to me. Friendly or enemy creatures on target board slots when the turn ends. Turns cooldown 2, target vertical. Targeted board slots when the turn ends. The stuff that targets tiles, I have no idea. Granted, I did like... It's like, screw this tutorial, I'm out of here. End phase. Done with my enchantments.
Discard creatures.
Was he on my team? My face spider's doing good work. All my stones are gone. Cobalt zombie, I'm gonna keep my creatures. Well, actually... 1, 4, 3. Yeah, I'm gonna keep these.
Discard enchantments.
I will discard... none.
Roll.
Ah,
Summon.
virus. Is the game intentionally designed to be ugly? Maybe. Any free mana stuff? Yes. A Gorblin? Let's huck a Gorblin down. Actually, I'll put my goblin here. And put a large friend. Power of 6. To block that scorpion. Affected creature is immune to all enchantments. Enchantment strength determines duration. Strength of 1. So for 1 turn, gonna be powerful stuff. Again, like, I'm waiting for combat to be close before I cast this, but I don't need to cast it yet. And I don't know the board slot bit here. It looks like the only things I can cast it on are my minions. On target board slot when the turn ends. So, like, I want to cast this on a minion of mine before it dies near combat, so useless at the moment is my guess. Because, like, I can't, like, curse a tile. And it was the same thing with this one. It says a tile slot, but it actually means your minion. And when the cooldown's over, it goes off, it seems like. The wording is poor. And I have no reason to heal anybody, so end phase. Go on, enemy.
Discard creatures.
I'm gonna go back and say no, Craig. I don't know if I'll recommend this one. Whoever made this definitely put a lot of, like, thought into a lot of it, but, like, ooh, I don't know.
Discard enchantments.
Yeah, like, we kill our own unit to do damage is my takeaway from that one, I think.
Roll.
4?
Summon.
Oh, I got 5 that time. That's buck wild. A Lemure, lowly devils with amorphous blob-like bodies. Lemures are tormented souls of the damned, serving as fodder in their infernal hierarchy. This is one of those games that, like, someone out there is gonna become a master at this game. But, like, Dwarf Fortress, when it first came out, was hard to learn. There was, like, a lot of sub-menus. It was hard to crack into. You really had to find, like, guides online to understand it. So I don't want to just be outright dismissive just because it's complicated, but this really feels like there's a lot of complications that don't need to be there. And that's my real criticism. It's like, this could be simplified tremendously. Reflect creature attacks first during the combat phase. If still alive, it'll attack the second time. Enchant my centaur before it gets into combat. Immune to all enchantments. For one whole turn, put that on you. And everything else is pretty far away. Oh, the only winners were the folks that walked away during this one. The whole board's on fire. Do I know why the whole board is on fire? Absolutely not. Could not tell you why. I'm guessing they cast this immolate spell somewhere. But it says target board slot. This is the entire board.
Discard creatures. Discard enchantments. Roll. Summon.
They tried to immolate my spell reflector and that caused the whole board to go on fire?
Action.
Dude, just put my big 4-cost dude out there. Alright, are any of my boys, like, in a position where something interesting is gonna happen? I lost track of my phase spider. Did he die? How did he die? I don't know. You're at full health. You're pretty much dead, but sadly, healing counts as an enchantment, so I cannot heal someone that got enchanted earlier. Which seems like a waste. End phase. Is there a way to speed up? Yeah, right over here. That's the music player. I guess there's no way to speed up the resolution of a board that's on fire? That's a bummer.
Discard creatures.
Zombie gnomes? Got 2 of them? Let's just have 1 of them.
Discard enchantments.
I have no reason to have these heals.
Roll.
Sexy water nymph. Graceful fate beings tied to bodies of water. Cost 2 mana. A Drek. And then a gnome zombie.
Action.
Target creature receives damage equal to enchantment strength value, pierces spell immunity. So I could target enemies, right? I can only enchant my things? The target is Chain. Put it on her. I guess she has to cast it. That's the real weird part. Like, you need to give the spells to your minions. It's not about what it says. You can have this fire spell. You can have double strike. That's everything. Cast your lightning bolt.
Discard creatures. Discard enchantments.
Am I liking the game? I don't think so. Like, there's neat ideas, but they are buried in just the worst interface. Information's not super clearly given to me. The turn order thing over here is just throw it in the garbage.
Roll. Summon.
Summon. A mountain nymph. I have 3 mana. Anything that costs exactly 3. Sexy water nymph? Sorry, mountain nymph. I'm gonna give you that fire spell again. Good luck. No, the turn order thing's just there to be there.
Discard creatures.
I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. This feels like a board game with how all the crap's on the table. Like, it doesn't need to be there all the time. It's really weird. I'm gonna die in a second, so we'll be free soon.
Discard enchantments. Roll. Summon.
That is a bird. That is an emu. What in the Yu-Gi-Oh? Shanikus, this game is insane. Not in any like, oh, you gotta try this game, it's insane, but more like, whoever designed this needs help.
Action.
There, have Berserker Rage. You have Fire. This one is called Card Scrawl. One word, Card Scrawl. I died! Holy hell, man. I want to like that game. I want to like it. But good God. That game needed just someone in the room to be like, I don't think we need this on the screen. I don't think we need these two resources when they could be one resource. I feel like we don't need 4 distinct phases. Like, we could have streamlined that game. The price of flight. Alright, price is flight. Had a lot going on. You should have seen the tutorial, man. The tutorial was just like info dump, info dump, info dump, info dump, info dump. And like every time it would give you information, it's like, it works this way, unless it doesn't work this way. It was insane how many times it's like, the creatures only do blank, unless, of course, blank. It's like, alright, so for every single rule you're telling me, we have multiple exceptions. Good to know. Price of flights. I'm guessing this is a Chromium or something, because it mentioned it's updating Microsoft Edge. That's weird. The funny part, though, is like for all of that information dumping, when you're actually playing the game, like all it needs to do is like let you know what characters are doing at any point in time, and it doesn't do that. Price of flight. This is running in Microsoft Edge Web View 2, which means capturing it as a game will not work. It's always window capture for these strange... Oh, but it's not going to be an animated window? Come on. There we go. I've learned. We've had to tussle with these so often. Flux is great at saying all rules work unless. Flux is a great card game. But like, maybe let me know, like, the enemy is casting this enchantment on this minion and then it's going off. But like, it happens, but it's happening quickly in the background. I don't know. There's a lot going on with that game, and I feel like it had a lot of problems. This is called The Price of Flight. Welcome! You're about to enter the exciting world of Price of Flight. Press the action button to continue. Can't hear me? It's too loud, this one still? There we go. Before we begin, let's move through some scenarios. Design. This font is hateful. Designed to help us learn more about you and perhaps learn more about yourself as well. Choose the word that best describes you using the directional buttons, followed by the action button. Or I could use a mouse. I'm just putting that out there. Bird. Which attribute best describes you? Bird. Which blood type best describes bird? Do you have a reputation for breaking new ground, and do you like to do it without breaking glass? Do you have a reputation for breaking new ground, and do you like to do it without breaking glass? What? Doesn't describe me. Rarely? Sometimes. Do you have a strong sense of justice that is not directed by politics? Describes me perfectly. Are you willing to put aside personal feelings? No. Are you willing to do what needs to be done? You are at the convenience store. A group of hoodlum has stolen rare candy. What do you do? Use diplomacy skill. Steal it for myself. You attempt to steal the rare candy for yourself, but the hoodlum shoots you with gun. You have died. Game over. You reload your last save. Which best describes your love style? When I'm making love to a man or woman, I like to do it stealthily. There's consent, of course, but they don't know when it's going to start or end. I don't, like, what's stealthily mean in this context? Love style. How many days are you willing to travel per week? 0. Where's 0? The doctor calls you about your test results. He insists that you meet him in person, and you infer that you have only months to live. Are you more or less likely to purchase a new car? More likely, I'll never have to pay for it. Do you certify that all your responses are truthful? No. No, the answer is no! Do you agree to release your name and likeness to Price of Flight Studios in perpetuity? Oh, of course, that's an easy yes. Price of Flight Studios is a subsidiary of the firm. Thank you for telling me this. Please sign your name. Thank you for completing this application. Your result is game show contestant. Please deposit your application in the application hole. Okay. You gotta let me know if the game started, because I've been doing a mouse this whole fucking time. How game? How does one game? No turning back now. Yeah, but like... Well, there we go. After I use the area control love technique, I like to drop my work in with the application hole. Exactly. It was stealthy sex, but consensual stealthy sex. What the fuck is happening? Are you a new contestant? Sorry, kid. You'll have to drop off your application at the application hole. What, you don't know who Quail Organ is? The Quail Organ? Did the stork drop you on the head or something? Man, they'll let any bird be a stork these days. Are you lost? That's understandable. A TV studio's a big place. Biggest building in the whole prison. Wait, what? Wait, what? Application hole? I think it's that way. He points in a direction. I think I played too many video games today. Yeah, it seems like it's a toilet paper on our feet. The sign won't tell you where to go because birds can't read. That would be ridiculous. I'm getting fucking Hilux flashbacks right now. Someone outside called me a collaborator, as if I was a bad thing to work here. I don't get it. Isn't art all about collaboration? They're probably just jealous. I mean, we get to eat and they don't. They just don't get that we need it more. Whoever heard of a starving artist? I love a cockatiel party. This stuff is delicious. Can I be of assistance, sir? An application hole? Surely a jest, sir. Oh, hello, fellow entertainmentpreneur. This is a TV network networking event. I recently transferred from corporate. Pleased to create your acquaintance. That door? Oh, apologies. You caught me staring at the intern closet. Brings back memories, after all. Brings back the dead one. Brings back the dead too sometimes. Oh, you're a necromancer? I hear that licensing exam's tough. Oh, a hobbyist necromancer, I see. What are you doing in the intern closet? This is the intern closet. Welcome to the intern closet. What are you doing in the intern closet? I know I shouldn't stare, but I can't believe that really trash bag from Hell Future. You'd think I'd stop getting starstruck working here. I'm sure the allegations are bullshit. Trash bag is one of the best punks to ever rock. There's no way they'd be involved in, you know. Oh, you're going to be a contestant too? Sorry, I've never heard of you. Eagleton High School incident? No, never heard of that one either. You can't joke about that, Brewhark. I've been eyeballing a Honey Pear 1911 cider just sitting next to me this whole time. And some of these games, man, some of these games are really pushing me, man. They're pushing me. They're really pushing me. That doesn't sound, that sounds bad. No autographs right now, kid. The Rock has some meat to defeat. Hey. What's that look? Don't be squeamish. Nothing wrong with eating other birds. Aside from raising your heat. Yes, that number tracks how immoral you've been. Is your cider warm now? It's probably like on the warmer side. I'm not gonna drink the cider. Not now, anyway. I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. It's because I got it when I bumped in the mud earlier, and I was like, well, I guess I'm walking to my desk with these things in my hand. Don't look now, but that's the Rock over there, across the table. The legendary bird, you say? You bet he's a legend. One of the greatest legends in the entire history of Bloodkill. He's a natural fit for the show, since sports and game shows are all about killing people. The fuck is this fucking game? Cameras in the prison can capture anything. What do they do with the captives? Turkey burger. Turkey burger. Delicious pill. Turkey burger. The manga meat doesn't come in the description? I too am wondering what the game is. What kind of game are we playing right now? That is still a mystery to me. Losers get to be on the menu. Application hole? Heh, never heard of it. This adult juice is an excellent vintage. Sore body, wistful aroma, notes of decay. The past is a foreign country, the only one left. It's like the human Orson Welles once said. A writer needs a pen, an artist needs a brush, a filmmaker needs an army. Though he died unrecognized in his time, his vision for a militarized television industry is now widely accepted. I haven't drank it yet, Mud, but like, These video games are pushing me, man. They're really pushing me. Golly, I sure am excited. Why, hello there, darling. Are you a new contestant too? You don't say. This seagull is wearing a bikini, and they're sitting on a casting couch with 2 cameras pointed at them. I always knew the trash god had a special calling for me. This is my chance to spread her stench all over Eagle Land. Don't you agree? By the way, my love style is guns blazing. What's yours, Winky Winky? Oh, stealthy. My, the stars say we're highly compatible. I invited this lady over to the casting couch, but I think she misunderstood. She keeps casting holy spells on me. I think she might have turned me back into a virgin. I don't feel safe anymore. So, this is where they put them camera drones, eh? Hell of a thing. Technology these days. Looks like new models made out of bird. Just makes me sick. You can't manufacture the bond between man and machine. Takes a lifetime of gentle care, aftermarket parts, and active listening. So, you're going to be a contestant too? Swell to meet you, Skipper. Let's enjoy our first-class tickets out of the slammer. I heard that parrots can not only understand humans, but use their language too. How repugnant. I bet the pay is good for translators, though. What with the war and all. Oh god, I figured out I'm finally having that stroke the doctor warned me about. Waiting to smell toast. The drones stare past you. Only their LEDs remember how to blink. Right. New message from the flight house. No more using bald eagles as contestants. Bad optics. Other kinds of eagles, A-okay. Fuck! What? Wait, whoa, hold on. What the fuck? Could this be it? The application hole? You feel a chill run down your spine. Something's wrong. There's a pit in your stomach. There's a hole in the world. You deposit your application. You don't know what you saw. You didn't see anything. Your name and likeness are no longer yours. You're no one now. It's time to leave. Okay. Been getting some strange readings on our monitor. It's like someone's trying to jam our signal. I wonder, could it be? No, that's impossible. Unless... Little Crow, you think you might enjoy this one? No snacks, kneeling. Shanicus, if I had to point you in a direction for, like, what this game most reminds me of, it's not Undertale. It's a game called Hylix. Spelled like this. And Hylix is an experience, let me tell you. You could feel the power of Quail Oregon emanate from beyond the door. There's no turning back. Coming up now, don't be shy. I understand. It's not every day you get to meet a celebrity. Unless you're me, of course. Yes, I'm Quail Oregon, host of Eagleland's #1 game show, Price of Flight. But you know, I wasn't always. I was once like you, scrawny and desperate looking. Well, not quite that desperate, am I right, folks? There aren't many birds in my position. Most can't afford to live in trees, so I decided to pay it forward. In installments, of course. This industry's all about connections, kid. You're connected to a crime like all the other birds here. I'm connected to Eagleland's largest media conglomerate. It's like a fever dream meets Tool music video. That's what playing the game is like. You did a good job, Creedmoor. Hylix was a good time. Have you heard of Thanksgiving? It's a ritual from the old country. The president threatens one of us with execution, then he pardons us. It makes us thankful for our freedom. Even in this era of human supremacy, our president has kept the tradition alive. The application hall has accepted you, so it's your turn to earn your pardon in Price of Flight. You could be our next winner. It won't be easy, but remember, your sacrifice, participation, that's a typo on the teleprompter, will inspire all of us. One issue, it appears you're under the age of 18. The age of consent hasn't been updated for avian lifespans. Congressional gridlock and all. So, I'll have to assign you a chaperone. Hello, I am your chaperone. I am so proud of you, son. And of course, we'll have to assign you a worm as well. Hello. Please don't eat me. Worms, am I right? How ironic that you control him using your mouse. Oh, or right stick. You can use them on me right now. Try it. Did you try it? Great. That's Quail Oregon. He's so famous. An audio audience haunts him at all hours. This is a business person. That's your chaperone, sorry. That's your chaperone, sorry, I mean chaperone. Great. Despite their low social status, worms possess a variety of ancient knowledge from eons of consuming the dead. Why don't you tell us a worm fact? Yes, I mean, you can advance dialogue by pressing buttons. Try it now. There's no way you made it that far in the game without advancing dialogue. Wow, what a nerd. I also know facts. Did you know Price of Flight is actually part of a government? Okay, that's enough facts. Let's take this show on the road after we take it on a plane. Enjoy your trip to Tutorial Island. No. No! Son, welcome to your first class on flying a plane. Use directional buttons to fly. Use the action button to shoot in dire circumstances. So this is the Gulf of Eagleland. This is my first time seeing it in person. Son, remember, collect any coins you see. I don't think they have coins out here. Or much of anything anymore. Oh, people used to live in those buildings. I remember consuming their memories. Oh, can you see those question marks? Must have been doing something or other. They're Z-spaces, recover health. There's also so much history out here. Trash shrine, I'd love to go there. Trash is holy the birds, right? Bird religion's fascinating. He's been talking a lot, and I'm just trying to fly a plane. Son, remember that the government is always watching you. I mean, that's technically true. You're gonna be on TV, everyone will be watching you. Alright, pilot episode time. Let's see if the camera likes you. Don't stare like that. Eye contact makes it territorial. Welcome to Scenic Tutorial. Since 52% of our audience has voted to give you a fighting chance, we'll cover some of the basics here. Your goal is to travel as far along the Super Loop as you can, while contestants across the nation hunt you down for $1 million in prizes. This here is just a miniature version of Super Loop, of course. Just a way to get your feathers wet. Slimy, wet feathers. Make it far enough from the real thing and maybe you'll win your freedom. But first, let's hear from my assistant about a generous travel package. Choose roll to begin your journey. That's right, kid. We roll more than just canvas here. You move around by rolling dice, just like in real life. Every bird has their own flying style, but we'll keep things simple for now. What the fuck is this game? What game is this? The dice of a true beginner, suitable for children ages 6 and under. Hold or mash. Is this like 100% concentrated orange juice? Is this a board game? Why, here comes our first contestant now. 10-year-old translated to bird. Wow, is that a pocket monster from Fortnite? I'm gonna put it in my mouth. No, I pressed F12 and it brought up the dev tools for the game. What the fuck? Look at that, look at that. Look what I made pop up. I wanted to take a screenshot, but I got the engine open now. Yeah, it's running an Edge. The music is truly a fever dream. Isn't he a sweetheart? Well, let's get started. Press up, then action to access your skills, then choose Peck. Holy shit. I was saying it was like Hylix because it was a fever dream. But it turns out it's like Hylix in that it's also a turn-based RPG. Peck the child, a little bundle of joy who's about to discover the cruelty of this twisted world. Excellent work beating up that child. But hold on just a second. Take a look at the turn order. East cut in line is about to go next. To find out why, you'll have to wield your worm. Use your mouse or right stick to check out that icon hovering to his left. Move up in turn order after being attacked. Did you do it? Then you're ready for our first trivia question. Question 1. How is that kid feeling? Mischievous. That's right. He has what we in show business call a status effect. You can use your mouse or right stick at any time to unravel these and other mysteries. That's our only trivia question. Now let's get back to it. I helped. I was helpful. Oh god, so much blood! Mother! Now that you've beaten him up, that kid's fear bar has turned purple, also known as the coward's color. Now you can get away from him safely. Yeah, I feel like this is exactly what Audrey wanted. Fleeing is always an option, but foes will damage you in pursuit if you haven't given them enough reason to fear you. It is better to fight or to flight. The choice is yours, except in this tutorial, you have to flee. It's in the script. If that's the only trivia question in the entire demo, I love this game so much. Choose the right option to flee. The flock makes their escape. Standing 20 feet tall and partially sunken into the mud on the roadside, Toots the toucan, mascot of Tutorial, stares out across the seawall with empty eyes. The soul-chilling, pre-recorded voice of Tootie. I'm Tootie the toucan. You've landed on a question space. These provide exciting choices with unique rewards. What other kinds of spaces could you land on? What adventures await? Find out in the price of fuck. Toucans died out in the war. The speaker crackles. 40 different species. The paint on Tootie's wooden beak is chipped by acid rain. You're a ghost, Tootie. Remember to visit our gift shop and have a tootastic day. Hold or mash the action button to... Aw, tough luck. And with all that flying you've done around the loop, looks like you've run out of bird fuel. Could be this hard-working Eagle-Landian have some. Did you know almost everyone can steal? Let's give it a try. An unfortunate soul trapped in the economic ladder. Window washer. Why? Excellent work. You could either eat his lunch in front of him or wait until after the battle. As you attempt to steal from foes, their exposure increases. Yeah, that blue bar. If it feels completely, they'll become more vulnerable to attacks too. I'll teach your chaperone a new skill so you can take even more off this loser. Your chaperone received a firmware update. He can now scan your opponent. But how do you tell their pee-pee? One, bloodlust. 2, chutzpah. 7, impatience. 5, acrobatics. 100% accuracy. 8% cool. Weak to rock and wind. The target is carrying a pink slip. Try stealing the item, it revealed. You got his pink slip. His pockets are now inside out. Use the pink slip you stole. Fired again. Bye. Total victory. An evil illusionist is transforming dirty windows into dangerous force fields. Oh, there we go. Jesus. Bad idea, Bird Brain. If you roll now without enough bird fuel, you'd have to spin the wheel of prizes. I know prizes sounds good, but they're not good. Running out bird fuel is very bad. Fatal kind of bad, kid. Go in your item menu and eat that packed lunch you stole. You should email the developer, just check in on them, make sure they're okay. Congratulations on making a full loop. Now you're marginally more prepared for the real deal. Thanks for visiting Tutorial! Did that work? No idea, let's just assume it did. Right, hey there! They call me the Handler. I've shut down the broadcast on behalf of the Avian Resistance. There's no way your captors are gonna let you go free, but if you spread the word among the POWs, the POWs, maybe one of you can make contact with us. Together we, might stand a chance, maybe. Also, tell them how incredibly handsome I am. And most importantly... Hey there. The demo's over, but you can watch the trailer if you want. Obviously. This game won awards. This is an award-winning game. And that sounds sarcastic, but I agree, it should win awards. Having this follow card scroll almost drove me to drink, but this might be the best demo of the day. – 47% of users agree it's bad. The gun rain. What? I'm sorry. Until the death of death, as you all remember George W. Bush. That is a famous quote of his, of course. Oh my god. All right. Well, that was. Hold on, I gotta look at the games we played today. So far, we still have wheel spinning to do here. There was Nordholz. That was good. Bad. Just awful. Funny bad. Good, but not for me. Absolutely not. Pretty good, pretty good. Fine, but like, I'm brain dead, like, not for me today. What the actual fuck? And Chef's Kiss. Chef's Kiss. This is just easily the best one. I think Price of Flight's #1. I might put Love in Space as... No, I put Nordhold 2, Love in Space 3. Those are the top 3. The developer may have been watching. Were they? I mean, I don't remember anyone saying hello. If they were, though, that'd be great.